Hey guys, it's Taylor here, aka Naptown Hustle on YouTube, and we are back with another PDH video. If you didn't catch the last one, this is a format of Magic the Gathering. It's just like Commander or EDH, except all of the cards in your deck have to be commons, except for your Commander, which has to be an uncommon creature. It's a lot of fun to play. The only other difference is that the life total is 30 instead of 40, and the Commander damage is 16 instead of 21. Real cheap format to get into, but still a lot of interaction and fun gameplay. I really like it, and it lets me build a lot of decks without breaking the bank. Today we're going to play Tormod the Desecrator and Halana Kessig Ranger partner commanders versus Nightveil Predator. Tormod and Halana are a graveyard interaction deck where you want to play things that cause cards to leave your graveyard, which lets Tormod create 2/2 zombies. And then Halana lets you pay 2 whenever a creature comes into play to shoot something for its power. So you get to play some Death Touch creatures with Halana to shoot things for one-shot kill, and then the zombies also can trigger Halana to shoot something for 2. So it's a fun toolbox deck. You'll get to see more interaction with this game than last time. And it's playing against Nightveil Predator, which is piloted by my friend Nathan. This is his personal deck. Nightveil Predator is a 4-drop black and blue creature that has hexproof and flying. So it's a little bit control-y, a little bit Voltron-y. Plays a lot of kill spells and some pump spells and tries to get in there with commander damage. It only has to get to 16 and it has hexproof. So pretty scary deck to play against. You want to find Death Touch creatures with reach or cards that cause him to sacrifice a creature. It can be a tough matchup. It kind of blanks Halana. She doesn't really get to do a lot in this matchup. But Tormod can still pump out an army of zombies. So without further ado, let's jump into the gameplay. Nathan's on the play and starts us off with an Evolving Wilds, which he cracks during my turn to fetch an island. I play a Terramorphic Expanse and crack that to catch a forest and pass the turn back. Nathan plays Swamp for turn and passes back. I play my own Swamp for turn and tap 2 to play Thorn-Wheeled Archer, which has Reach and Death Touch, so basically the perfect card against his deck. He plays a Swamp and passes the turn back to me. I float a black and play Golgari Rot Farm, which bounces a land back to my hand, and then I tap a green and play Deadly Recluse, which also has Death Touch and Reach, so again a perfect card against his deck. I then try to get in with 2 with the Archer. He taps 3 to play Murder, killing my Archer. I then try to pass the turn back to him, but he says he's not done, even though he's tapped out, which I'm confused and could not remember a card that could be played for free here. But he has Snuff Out, which says if you control Swamp, you can pay 4 life rather than paying the converted mana cost, which kills my Spider. Then I pass the turn back to him. He untaps and draws a card, plays an island, and then pays 4 for his Nightveil Predator. Things are looking a lot better for him now that the Reach, Death Touch creatures are off the board. Pass the turn back to me, and I draw and untap, and play a Forest for turn. I then pay 4 for a Slum Reaper, which says when it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature. Sadly, he sticks his Nightveil Predator into the graveyard. I pass the turn back to him. He plays a Mortuary Mire, and he puts his commander back on top of his library. He then plays 2 for a Leaden Mirror, which helps him get around those sack effects. And he passes the turn back to me. I untap and draw a card. I decided to go for my commander even though he does have blue open, and I play Tormod the Desecrator for 4. He does not counter it, and it resolves. I then play my Land per turn, which is a command tower, which I tap for a black and play Way Down. Way Down says as an additional cost of the spell, exile a creature card from your graveyard. Target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. So this is perfect because it's a removal spell, and also it synergizes with the commander Tormod because it makes a 2/2 tapped zombie. I kill his Latimer because I want to have the board clear in case he plays his commander again, so I can get it with another sack effect. Pass the turn, and he draws his commander off the top of his library. He decides to go for his commander again and plays Nightveil Predator for 4, since he's not playing it from the command zone. He plays a Swamp for turn and passes the turn back to me. I play a Swamp for turn also, and then pay 2 to cast Corpse Churn, which mills 3 into my graveyard and then lets me return a creature card from my graveyard to my hand. I decided to go back to that Slum Reaper again to try to get him to sacrifice his commander. That makes another zombie because a card left my graveyard. It is tapped. I then pay 4 for Slum Reaper, sacrificing the tapped zombie. He has to sacrifice his commander again. This time he puts it in the command zone. Then I attack for 6 with my zombie and my commander, which gives him 4 commander damage and takes him down to 20. And I pass the turn. He untaps and draws. He thinks for a long time about his options and decides to pay 6 to cast his commander again from the command zone, and passes the turn back to me. I decided to cycle a Tranquil Thicket for 1, drawing a card. I then cycle again a Barrenmoor for 1, drawing a card. I play a land for turn, which is a forest, and I pay 5 for a Loathsome Curator, which has Exploit, which lets me sacrifice a creature when it comes into play. And then if I do sacrifice a creature, I can destroy target creature I don't control with mana cost 3 or less. But I cannot target his Nightveil Predator, and so I don't exploit anything. It has Menace and it's a 5/4, so I'm just playing it for the beats. I then get in there with my Slum Reaper and my commander for a total of 8 damage. He does not block and takes it. This takes him to 12 life and 8 commander damage. I pass the turn back to him. He plays an island for turn, taps it for a blue, and attaches Sigil of Sleep to his commander. It says when he deals combat damage to a player, he can return a creature to that player controls to its owner's hand. He then comes in for 3 with his commander, taking me to 27 and 3 commander damage, and he bounces Loathsome Curator back to my hand and passes the turn. I untap and draw a card for turn. I play a Haunted Fengraf, which has 3. Sacrifice Haunted Fengraf, return a creature card at random from my graveyard to my hand. I decided to do that now, which was probably a mistake. I probably should try to respond to a kill spell or something. I don't know why I exiled Haunted Fengraf, but I don't think it matters in the game. With the Haunted Fengraf trigger on the stack, he decides to respond, and he plays Agony Wrap, which gives my commander -3 toughness, killing it, and it gives the Slum Reaper -3 power, making it a 1/2. Then the Haunted Fengraf resolves, but it is not going to make a zombie token because my commander is not on the board. He picks a card at random from my graveyard, and it's the Thorn-Wheeled Archer again, which goes back to my hand. I then come in for 3, 1 with the Slum Reaper and 2 for the zombie, which takes him to 9. I pay 4 and cast my other commander, Halana Kessig Ranger, and I pass the turn back. He untaps and pays 3 for a Notion Rain, which lets him Surveil 2, then draw 2 cards, and then Notion Rain does 2 damage to him. He flips 1 card into the graveyard and leaves 1 card on top, and he goes to 7. He realizes he forgot to untap his Nightveil Predator, so he does that now. He then pays 2 black for a Soul Reap, which says, destroy target non-green creature. Its controller loses 3 life if you play another black spell this turn, which he has. So that is a mistake. I should be at 24 life now. He passes the turn, and I untap and draw a card. I pay 2 for a Grisly Salvage. Grisly Salvage lets me look at the top 5 cards and put a creature or land into my hand, and then put the rest in my graveyard. He decides to pay 2 for Mana Leak, hoping that I'll pay the 3 and that will be my turn. I decide not to pay the 3 and instead spend 5 to recast my Loathsome Curator for 5. I then come in for just 3 with my commander. He decides to take it, and he goes to 4 life and 3 Halana commander damage. I pass the turn. He untaps and draws, and he pays 1 blue for an Unstable Mutation, making his commander a 6/6. We then have a conversation about no matter how he blocks next turn, he is going to take at least 4 damage. He says he doesn't have anything else in hand and decides to scoop, and that is the game. Hopefully you enjoyed this game of Pauper Commander. I know I had a lot of fun. It was interesting to be the beatdown with my mid-range deck. Usually the Nightveil Predator deck will be the beatdown, and you can tell at the beginning of the game that when he killed the Death Touch Reach creatures that he intended to pump his commander and get in there for commander damage. That can go really quickly since I can't target it and I usually cannot block it. So that can be dangerous. If he had killed those Reach creatures and I had not had the Slum Reaper, I think that he might have gotten in there with commander damage. So a close game that he unfortunately just couldn't stabilize and couldn't stop the beatdown. A good game. Thanks for watching this. I had a lot of fun and hopefully you enjoyed it. Stick around for another game coming soon. I think we have a 4-player game that we're going to try to film and get posted. If you enjoyed this, please hit subscribe and like the video, and thank you for watching.